EM2 is a consistent 3-shot kill weapon in close range, and we get fast 2 to 4 milliseconds time to kill within 20 meters, even if we hit all leg shots. This is an advantage, and an upgrade over other 3-shot assault rifles like DRH, which need us to aim around chest area to get 3-shot kills. But unlike other 3-shot weapons like ASM-10 or Man O' War, EM2 has bullet speed of 600 meters per second. Bullet speed makes the time to kill slower at range, and we have no bullet speed till only 10 meters, and then we get 33 milliseconds delay till 20 meters, which ends up giving a slow time to kill. The slow time to kill isn't a huge issue as it is still fast for playing close range, but one problem is bullet speed will make a time to kill even slower at long range, so it is more worthwhile playing EM2 as a versatile weapon as opposed to using it for passive playstyle. Anyway, after 20 meters, EM2 is a 4-shot kill weapon, and 336 milliseconds time to kill in this range is not bad at all, but bullet speed will give us 50 milliseconds slow time to kill till 30 meters and 67 milliseconds slow time to kill till 40 meters. Beyond 37 meters, the time to kill is slow and bullet speed will become worse, why it isn't taking long range gunfights with EM2. And when I was practically testing this weapon, I was losing long range gunfights against guns like Kilo 141 and M16. Why? Effective range of EM2 is still 37 meters, and I will recommend playing this weapon for versatile playstyle instead of trying to exclusively use it for long range playstyle. And one important thing I need to mention, EM2 has 600 meters per second bullet speed, which is slower compared to guns like Odin, M13 and Krig 6, but 600 is just a number on paper. If we compare Krig 6, which has the fastest bullet speed for full auto guns, to EM2, then we see EM2 tends to outperform Krig 6 at certain ranges, but EM2 has its cons too, like slower fire rate for example, but more on that later. And one important note on bullet speed, since bullet speed causes delay as to when our bullet will hit the enemy, this delay makes getting kills a bit inconsistent, especially when tracking fast ADS movement like on guns like MAC-10 or Lava. And with the slower fire rate on EM2, it kind of makes close range performance a bit inconsistent. In my own gameplay, there have been many instances where I stopped shooting because on other guns like M16, enemy would have died already, but using EM2 the enemy survives while being one shot, and this is something we can do nothing about, but use attachments which can either improve the bullet speed or increase the fire rate. And now is a good time to leave a like and comment something nice to help support the video. Another problem is hitbox. The entire body does the same damage as base, which is good as it gives us consistent time to kill, but head only does 1.1 times the damage. In the 4-shot range, we need to hit 2 headshots for 3-shot potential kill, which will be inconsistent, while using Taskforce Barrel is worth it as it gives chest and arms the same damage as head and improves the head multiplier, so we can either hit 1 headshot for 3-shot kill till 37 meters or hit 2 shots around the chest area, which is more doable compared to base EM2. Speaking of Taskforce Barrel, apart from improving the hitbox, it also improves the bullet speed, and we have 14 meters of no bullet speed range compared to 10 meters previously. The bullet speed difference isn't huge as it is just 1 frame difference at certain ranges, but a problem is it destroys the recoil. Base recoil is nice, it has slight horizontal recoil towards left but nothing too much which will be uncontrollable, and it is very easy to beam by doing just pull down. But Taskforce makes both the horizontal as well as vertical recoil worse, which is still beamable at range, but it is harder than base weapon. And one advantage of EM2 is the easy to beam recoil pattern, while most people will choose not to use Taskforce Barrel, otherwise use foregrip to make the recoil easier to beam at range. Ranger Barrel also gives bullet speed buff along with range boost, and we get 19 meters of no bullet speed range and 48 meters of effective range with very good and respectable time to kill in these ranges. But my only problem is it nerfs the mobility hard and forces us to play passive as a long range weapon. But Kilo 141 is used for the same playstyle, and it is better while having no bullet speed, and we can use M16 as well if we are fine with slower mobility. Why I don't recommend using Ranger Barrel as better guns exist for long range playstyle. Bullet spread for EM2 is really good and similar to guns like Kilo 141, and Kilo has one of the best bullet spreads in the game. Aim assist laser is usable to play long range but not necessary. This gives EM2 an advantage as other guns usually use tactical laser which will show a green laser light, but for EM2 we can hard scope no issues as there is no green laser light which will reveal our position to the enemy. And unlike other guns which have iron sights, EM2 has optics by default, and it has the same FOV as red dot which makes red dot kind of not needed. But a problem I had was it was hard to see enemies at range with the default optics, why I used red dot for better visibility. For more analysis and best gunsmith builds, you can join our Discord server. Hipfire Spread is decent for assault rifles rifles, and we can hipfire in close range at times to get kills. But we will be using stock to make ADS movement better, which gives us bad hipfire spread, while preferring to ADS and shoot is better and using laser for hipfire is pointless. Looking at other stats, fire rate is on the slow side, which makes missing shots very punishing, as one single missed bullet makes a time to kill slower by 112 milliseconds, and this is important since 20 meters 3-shot range is filled with aggressive SMGs like Fennec or MAC-10, otherwise other SMGs like CBR-4, Switchblade and even Lapa. These guns have fast mobility, and when we use these weapons we try to make enemy miss shots by strafing left and right fast, which isn't a huge problem on most weapons which tend to have moderate fire rate, but on slow firing guns like EM2 we are punished more harshly for lack of good accuracy, and a simple slide jump combo is enough to throw off our aim and make our time to kill much worse. This is one of the reasons why preferring a 4-shot kill weapon with faster fire rate is better practically than using a slow firing 3-shot weapon, as we will need to be more accurate to do well with EM2 compared to other guns with faster fire rate, like Krig 6 for example. ADS speed is on the slow side for playing aggressive, same with the ADS movement, while attachments like Agile Stock or Sturdy Grip is mandatory for a war style build, and sprint to fire is average but it will end up being slower with attachments, while learning to cancel sprint to fire is better. Max size is low and spray duration is bad, as we will be stuck reloading when facing multiple enemies, and extended mag is essential if you ask me. Reload time is moderate at 1.6 seconds and fast reload would have helped, but these stats are not final as we have attachments to improve them, and I will recommend this for an overall build. This has something of everything from improved hitbox, improved bullet speed, sound suppression, better max size, better ADS speed, better ADS movement, lower flinch for cons like slower reload speed, worse recoil, worse hipfire, and slow sprints to fire. And 40 mag is usable if you're fine with the reload speed and ADS time cons. If recoil is a problem we can use foregrip instead, otherwise Taskforce Barrel is the most removable attachment, and we can either use red dot or better recoil or better mobility, and we can use it with Taskforce Barrel as well. My recommended build is this, and once Mythic comes with better iron sights I will use this build, but until then can use this, otherwise this. As for if I will recommend EM2, it depends. There are a lot of consistent 3-shot kill weapons like Man of War, ASM-10 and Odin, which can be made faster for playing as a mid to long range weapon similar playstyle as EM2, but they suffer the issues of slower fire rate like on Man of War or bullet speed like on Odin. EM2 is similar, but I would consider it an upgrade as it can play versatile better in comparison, but its main advantage, the consistent 3-shot kills, is only till 20 meters, which is SMG range, and a high skill high reward weapon like EM2 is put at an inherent disadvantage, and in this range we can use 3-shot potential guns like AK-47 as well. In-depth analysis on it very soon. Why it is better to play EM2 a bit more passive, but then we play in its 4-shot range, so why not use some other weapon instead with faster fire rate? Or we need to use Ranger Barrel, which gives 26 meter 3-shot range but forces us to play passive, and guns like Kilo or M16 will be better for this playstyle. Why EM2 can be used as an alternate Krig 6, but as an overall weapon Krig 6 is still the better gun, as EM2 may have faster tactical in close range, but it is also more punishing to use, and Krig 6 tactical is barely 1 frame slower after 10 meters, which is a negligible difference, and Krig 6 performs better at mid-range, and I don't recommend taking long-range fights on both of these weapons. So Krig 6 is what I will recommend instead of EM2, and to know if EM2 is a top 10 weapon this season, watch the analysis for it. As a note, EM2 gun sound is still bugged for me. Why? I will have an update on EM2 once the Mythic comes out. Do share this video to help spread this information around, and until next time, bye.